Let's talk about all things MLS and where you, as an investor, can get access.
In this video, we'll discuss what is the MLS? Who has access to the MLS? What does it do for investors? 5 ways for investors to get to the MLS. We'll go over an MLS listing, talk about terms that you'll find on the platform, and finally, we'll go over what is a CMA.
What is the MLS? The MLS, or Multiple Listing Service, is a database of homes for sale that real estate agents use to help clients find properties. It includes information on homes that are currently listed for sale, as well as those that have recently sold. And it's a really great way to get up-to-date information on a housing market. By using the MLS, they can see detailed property descriptions, photos, and price histories of a piece of real estate. They can search for properties that meet a specific criteria, such as location, price range, number of bedrooms and baths, building style, and more. And it allows agents to create the ever-needed CMA, or comparative market analysis, which we will speak more of later on in the video. Who primarily uses the MLS? While the MLS is a great resource for buyers and sellers, it's primarily used by real estate agents. And this is because agents are allowed to pay for access to list homes for sale and find homes for their clients. Although many sources contribute to the data the MLS is composed of, in order to have access to the MLS, one must be a real estate agent or in a brother and sister role of an agent to officially have access, meaning real estate brokers, transaction specialists, office help, mortgage brokers, roles like that. And this is kind of a problem for some people because many individuals are not directly tied to an agency, but they still could really benefit from accessing the data the MLS provides. What specific advantages does MLS provide to investors specifically? Well, it streamlines their work. It organizes property information, tax data, sales, and property history. It even has contact information of others in the business, and it's all on one single platform. Also, it provides a window to listings for sale that all hungry investors want to find out about. And again, it's all compiled into an easy-to-use single platform. So if you're an investor and you're not in an agency, here are 5 ways you can access the MLS. To begin, one of the most obvious ways an investor can gain MLS access is by working with a real estate agent. It's not probable that they will give you their password outright, but they will likely be willing to help you find what you're looking for and pull up comparable properties for your reference. Of course, a real estate agent can provide a number of services that are beneficial to investors, such as they can book showings, negotiate deals, and handle and supervise transactions. One of the most important things that a real estate agent does for our investor purposes is they help to find properties that fit specific investment criteria. Finally, a real estate agent can provide an investor with market analysis, which is, again, something we will talk about later. And this is important because it helps the investor to understand the market and to make informed investment decisions. Number 2, use a property listing website. There are many property listing websites that have MLS listings on them. Some examples of these websites are Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, and of course, Mashvisor. And Mashvisor is special, of course, because it combines MLS listings with listings from other resources to create what they say is the ultimate database of investment properties for sale. In addition to pulling its data from the MLS, it uses predictive analytics and algorithms to provide its results and analysis so that you understand what the heck you're looking at. It's always important. So if it turns out you cannot gain access to the MLS using one of the ideas mentioned in this video today, do check out Mashvisor and you'll get a free 7-day trial by using the link in the description. Number 3, buddy up with other professionals, meaning non-real estate agents in the business. Many real estate industry professionals use the MLS to complete their daily job tasks. Real estate appraisers are a good example of this, real estate attorneys, and earlier I mentioned mortgage brokers. They all have access, and if you're friends with one of them, they can often provide you with the information that you need. Now, it should be mentioned that you cannot list anything this way. An appraiser, for example, just pulls comparable data and uses the MLS to research property history, but they don't actually sell anything. For that to occur, you would need a licensed real estate agent who themselves have paid access. Number 4, take a real estate class. Many community colleges offer real estate classes, and these classes often come with access to the MLS just for educational purposes. And this is a really great option for you to gain access that you need as an investor and also learn about the business too. And number 5, get a job with a real estate company. Another way to access the MLS is to work for a real estate company. This could be anything from taking on the role of a receptionist to working in the marketing department. As long as the company employs you, you should have some kind of access to the MLS if you want it, and therefore you can get your information as needed. So say you gained access to the MLS. I thought it might be helpful to go over the information in an MLS listing and maybe talk about some terminology that you will encounter on the platform. An MLS listing typically includes the information about the property, such as its address, square footage, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and any special features or amenities a property might have. The listing will also include information about the listing agent and their contact information for scheduling and making showings. It also includes photographs of the property and information about the surrounding area, schools, and local attractions. The price of the property is included in an MLS listing, of course, and what kind of financing the selling agent feels will work based on the home's current physical attributes. Additionally, it will have tax estimations, and I say estimations because it's just inputted by the real estate agent who's listing the property manually. So always make sure you double check that the information you are relying on that you'll be giving to your finance people is all correct. And one more thing you will likely hear more about as your investment career evolves is an MLS number assigned to each listing. An MLS number is a unique identifier for each property that is listed on the MLS. This number is typically assigned by the listing agent when the property is first listed. I think it auto-generates actually. The MLS number can be found in the listing details of a property. It's often up near the address at the very top of the page. The MLS number is important because it can be used to track a property's listing history. The information can be useful when trying to determine how long a property has been on the market and what the listing price is, whether or not the property has gone under any price changes recently. And also, if the home has been listed more than once, it's sometimes difficult to search and find by address, as multiple listings will pop up under that address. And therefore, this number will be unique to a single listing, and it will make your life a lot more simple. So let's talk about some terms. The first one I want to talk about is listing price. And this is the price that the seller has listed their home for. Days on market, or DOM. This is how many days the property has been on the MLS. Sold price. This is the price that the property actually ended up selling for. It often means the price minus any concessions or repairs that the seller may have to do. Listing date. This is the date that the property was first listed on the MLS. Off market. This means the property is no longer available for sale. Under contract. Means that a buyer has made an offer on a property, but the deal has not yet closed. Contingent. This means that a property is under contract, but the deal is reliant on a certain condition being met. Back on market. This means the property was under contract, but the deal fell through, and now the property is available for sale again. Price per square foot. The price of the home divided by the square footage of the home. This is a helpful metric when comparing homes of different sizes. New listing. This is the designation that's given to properties that have been on the MLS for fewer than 10 days. Active listing. A property is considered active if it is available for showings and offers. Pending. A listing is considered pending when the sale is in escrow, which means that all conditions of the sale have been met and the deal is waiting to close. Price change. This means that the sellers have lowered or raised the asking price of the property. Expired listing. A listing is considered expired when it has been on the MLS for more than 180 days without selling. It then needs to be relisted by the real estate agent in charge. And finally, let's talk about comparative market analysis. Remember when I mentioned the CMA, the comparative market analysis, a little while ago? As you may have guessed, they are drafted on the MLS platform. A CMA is an estimation of a property's value based on the recent sale prices of similar properties in the same area. CMAs are typically prepared by real estate agents when working with buyers and sellers, and they can be used to help price a property for sale or to estimate how much a buyer should be willing to pay for a particular property. How is a comparative market analysis created? A CMA is created by comparing the sale price of similar properties in the same area. The goal is to find properties that are as similar as possible to a subject property in terms of size, location, and features. Once the comparable properties have been selected, their sale prices are compared to the listing price or sales price of the subject property. This information is then used to estimate the value of the subject property. It's also important to remember that a CMA is not an appraisal. An appraisal is a professional estimate of a property's value that is conducted by a licensed appraiser. Appraisals are typically required by lenders when a borrower is applying for a mortgage loan. We at Mashvisor, of course, have other ways to attain the information other than a CMA. Mashvisor has thousands of listings across the United States, and each comes with its own analysis, so you can understand the nitty-gritty of a property before you put in an offer. In a single listing, it offers estimated rental income if the property was staged as a traditional rental or an Airbnb. It offers expenses, cash flow, cash-on-cash return, cap rate, area occupancy, and it even lets you compare properties side by side, nearly eliminating the need for a CMA altogether. So let's wrap up. While having access to the MLS can be beneficial, it's not necessary to do business as a real estate investor. Again, there are a number of services that can provide data on comparable sales prices and properties, which can be used to create a comparative market analysis if you need it. Specifically Mashvisor. And you can get a free 7-day trial by using the link in the description of this video. I hope you found this very helpful. Have a great day, happy investing, and I will see you next time.